I am your host, Zoey Michaels. I have to tell you, I'm pretty excited. First of all, this is the beginning of our second season, and this is the season where I get to speak with you musicians, which of itself is exciting because I love music. I am a huge fan of music. And last season, we focused on business owners and book writers because I'm a writer, and that was a good place to start. But now we're getting breaking into the music world. But then on top of that, today's guest comes to us from Australia, from Adelaide, Australia. And the last time I had the opportunity to speak face to face with someone from Australia was a point in time when I lived in Ecuador. And I had met up with some Australians and some New Zealanders, and it was a great time. I had a most wonderful time with that group of people. So this is almost like reliving that moment for me. So welcome today, Andy. It's so nice to meet you and have a chance to speak face to face with you. And I hear that beautiful accent again. I am just thrilled to have you here.
Thank you very much for having me. My accent is English, actually. I'm originally from England.
Are you really?
I have that, yeah, my Bristol in the southwest of England. Hence
Okay.
the broad twang you could probably pick up on as well.
So I definitely heard an accent. I figured since you said you were from Adelaide, Australia, that was the accent natural to there. But when you deal with
Yeah, no, definitely
multiple
not.
accents, we'll see.
No, it's definitely not an Australian accent.
Okay, well, see, that's my bad, but all the same, I'm still excited to have
All
you
good.
here.
No, thank you for having me. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. I think too, and maybe it's because I grew up as a child of the 80s, and, I hear an accent from England, and I think Bono, and I think, I don't know who else came from that neck of the woods. I think like maybe the Rolling Stones. I think we equate rock and roll music with that type of accent. So it's fun just to hear it from that perspective as well. And maybe I'm doing some stereotyping.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. No, agree.
Yeah. So, what kind of music, what genre of music do you work with?
Wow. So that question get asked so many times. What genre? What genre? If you had to stick a label on it, it's probably alternative, but a bit of indie alternative, Britpop indie, easy listening. I kind of, I don't kind of tend to stick to one genre. I mean, the British rock and roll is kind of my first love, and I then try hard to not make it sound like that because it always instantly goes that way. But it kind of just what feels good. I mean, my last EP, they were probably more easy listening rather than anything. Guitar driven melodies, but they were more easy listening. So I would say alternative. Let's go alternative.
Sounds fine. Yeah, I know the label thing probably does get old. It's like, I'm gonna tag me with my books loosely, very loosely. I have two books that could very loosely be considered romance books. They don't strictly fit that genre, but that's the closest to what I do without actually being romance books. And I wish there was another label I could put them under, but sometimes you just kind of label something as close as you can get to what it actually is. But
Absolutely.
The beauty of music books
it's
is
tough.
that you can get into your own little niche as long as you can get people to listen or read them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's right. And I think a great tip I was given by someone was to have a look at the genre of something which sounds similar, which is already released, and then pick that.
Yeah. And that makes perfect sense.
So exactly. And even this collaboration I've just done, which we'll probably get onto a bit later, with a female artist from Florida, which is released in a couple of weeks. Trying to find the genre for this song was, because she's very classical, 20s orientated, very, very operatic voice. I'm my voice, and we've come together and done this song called Legends, and we're like, okay, what genre is this?
But that's the beauty, because music is always growing and changing, and there's, you know, they have to create new labels and new descriptions of what the music is. Music, you know, was it? There was an artist I was speaking to a week or so ago. I think it was back in like the 70s, early 80s. He and a bunch of musicians who are now famous were making music, and he's like, the music wasn't all that great, but it was okay. But it was like the birth of what he called punk music. Before that, punk music didn't even exist, but that's where it was born, right there in the New York City, in that era, you know. And that's just the way music is. It's not there, and then suddenly the sounds kind of come together, and that's what people are in the mood for, and a sound is born, and now we've got to give it a brand new name to describe what this particular sound is. And how cool is that?
Yeah, exactly. Same as in the 90s. So when Britpop, for instance, that didn't exist before 1994. And I was 19 in 1994, so I lived through that in England as well, where it was just a great time to be alive. And but who would have thought Britpop would become a genre?
Exactly. Or for that matter, rap. I mean, I remember as
Mm.
a preteen, or at least early teens, in the mid 80s, there was no such thing as rap. I mean, I remember hearing the very first rap songs on the radio, and they weren't even called rap. They didn't have a label as yet. They were just rock songs on the radio that now we would call rap. And they were very light,
Yeah,
you know, easy rap. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been on the radio. But they were basically the birth
true.
of rap music. But yeah,
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
yeah, you gotta love that. I love the way it changes and grows. So
Yeah,
when
that's the beauty of it, I suppose, isn't it?
it is, so you recently traveled. You were saying that you had been in in Georgia, I think, Atlanta, for the ISSA Awards, International Singer Songwriter Association Awards. Did you have any of your music nominated for any of those awards?
Yes, I was up for three categories, I think. Emerging Artist, Songwriter of the Year, and then you can see just about here where my finger is.
Yes.
There's
Is
a
that an
little
award?
trophy there,
All
which I
right.
took silver for single of the year for I Want to Take You Far.
Nice.
Yeah, blown away by that. It was just an unbelievable moment and very unexpected. I've only been a member of the group since January, and so I went out to network, and that was predominantly it, and also to do the vocals with Emily, which we'll come to later. But yeah, never expected to win anything, and yeah, picked that up, which was just blown away. But the whole weekend was unbelievable. The people, I've never been in an environment where, and these people are all musicians, so there's no ego, there's no arrogance. Everyone was amazing. I was on my own, so I didn't know anyone, and was made to feel so welcome by, Tammany and Todd, that, the people who run the ISSA, and in the hotel rooms, the people there we met were just so friendly and so nice. And I've really met some people who are considered friends now. So a few more collaborations coming in the pipeline. We're also with two other people. We're going to be doing a podcast. Tracks on Trial, we're calling it. So there's myself here, Sam, who's English but lives in Spain, and Amy Jo, a country singer who lives in the US. We're all going to be there, and we nominate a track to discuss, and is it good? Yeah, through, and that sort of thing. So that's quite exciting. So yeah, that whole weekend come off a lot of things. A lot of things have come out of it, and just an unbelievable experience. And that little baby there as well.
What a nice thing to look back on. I mean, that's going to give you a lot of joy over until you win your next one, right? And then for many years after that, I'm sure. So,
Yeah,
how long
fingers
have you?
crossed. But yeah, it's just amazing.
Absolutely. How long have you been writing music and performing music?
He was my first band. I was just a singer in the late 90s, and then did that for a couple of years. And then I joined my first covers band in around about 2003, I think. So 22 years ago, um, playing guitar and singing. And I did that for 10, 15 years, and sporadically wrote a couple of songs. I didn't really think or knew I could do it. And then just wrote a couple of songs randomly, which we played in that covers band. So the first one I wrote was probably a song called Rain Check, 2 minutes long, punk thrash, bang, in and out, 4 chords done. And that's on my it's on my best of album actually. And it kind of sort of went from there. And I started writing a bit more, and then 2012 my debut album came out, Rock and Roll Girl, which a friend of mine produced it for me. And there's some really nice tracks on there I'm quite proud of. One is doing the rounds again now, LLT. It's kind of like the last single off the best of album, but it's making a few waves. That's kind of punky, rocky as well. So, yeah, it's a bit different. And then I just sort of carried on writing and just put them in my pocket as such. And then brought my second album out in 2019, 2020, something like that, the Equidistant Years. And then I wrote in 2018, before we moved to Australia, I was in originals band in the UK called Howlin' Haze, and we released an album, which there's 10 tracks. I wrote 9 of them. And then that sort of fell apart because I was moving to the other side of the world.
Sure. Now,
So, and then it's just gone from there, really. Yeah, the I Want to Take You Far EP came out last year. I'm in the middle now of writing a new EP stroke album, which hopefully will be out the end of this year. And then obviously Legends with Emily, which is out on the 16th.
that's good. Now, for those of us not in the music business, like myself, I've heard this term a few times, but you're the first person I'm going to ask this question. What does EP stand for?
Extended play.
Thank you. I've been wondering, like, what does that stand for? It's obviously an important term in the music business, but what does that mean?
Yeah. It's just it's not one song, so it's not a single.
Okay,
But there's not enough tracks on there for it to be an album.
sounds good. And
So
it's the
like
opposite of an
LP they
LP.
called
Yeah.
correct.
Okay, so I've heard LP my whole life, but again, I've never thought about what it meant. But if extended, then it must be limited, right? Extended play,
A
limited
long
play. Oh, see, completely
long
wrong.
play.
Okay, you've
Yeah.
educated me even more than I thought. So thank you for
There we
that.
go.
We
All
need that
good.
little education now and then.
Oh, it's always good to learn something new each day.
Absolutely right. And I do like to learn a little bit something new, even if it's something I've been doing for years, like cooking. Like, let's see what we can stretch and learn today. So I'm
Yeah,
curious,
absolutely.
what took you to Australia?
So my job, I was working for a wine production company in the UK,
Okay.
and an internal role came up um, to be part of the project team, and the team put in a new production plant in the main winery in South Australia. So we had a chat with my wife, and she's been here before and traveled around here for a good year or so before. One of the first things she said to me when we met was, "Oh, you work for an Australian company, any chance for a job out there?"
Oh, so she was happy
So
for that change.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so I applied, and here we are. you know
Very
So
cool.
no, loving it. We've been here, 2018, so 7 years now,
Wow.
and love it.
Very
Yeah,
cool. And have there been maybe experiences there in Australia compared to where you used to be from that have been added sources of inspiration for your music?
absolutely. I mean, the last two tracks off the EP were probably I wrote 10 years ago, so can't really count that, and they were probably all about my wife. It was about we just got married and we just had our son, so they were about that. But the songs you're probably gonna hear, or which will hopefully come out at the end of the year, which I'm working on at the moment. There's a couple of tracks on there which have been sourced from when we first arrived. So one's a bit of an angsty song where I had a bit of a narcissistic manager at the time, and so he's getting it full barrels in this song.
That's the beauty of books and music. We can do that with that. It's the safest way to get those
Exactly.
thoughts out there.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it comes and goes, and the way I write, I kind of like jot it down, put it on a demo, and leave it alone, and there's only one song I think I really wrote that day, recorded it, and finished it in a day, which was the single I put out during COVID, Side by Side. And it was about COVID, not being allowed to go out and do what you want to do, sort of thing, And yeah, I wrote that morning, recorded it in the afternoon, and it was done straight away. It was like, wow, if only it could always be like this,
Right? Sometimes the
but it never
inspiration
is.
hits and it's great, and sometimes it's a long time in a battle to get those thoughts out there and then set it to just the right music.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same with those two songs. I want to take you far and always be this way. I wrote them just after I got married in 2014, 15, and I just could not work out what to do with them. And they were sat there as a demo for years. And it was only when we moved into this house. So we built a house. This house I'm in now, in one of the rooms is my studio, which I'm in now, and it must have been the source of inspiration coming into the new house in a new studio, and it, it just evolved. And yes, I finally got it though, how I wanted it to sound, and really pleased with how they did come out.
Very cool. So in the room there, do you actually have like is it a sound studio like where you can actually record your music, and or do you have like a special spot there where you can record without all the where the acoustics are going to be right? I think that's what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, I don't have it soundproofed. I do have sound shields, which I put up if I need to, but I just sort of spin you
Ooh,
around.
pretty
I've got the
anyway.
wall of,
Nice with the
yeah,
instruments.
and all the guitar stuff and everything here.
Fun.
I might have just pulled out my power lead on my computer.
Yeah, don't do that.
Better put that back in. Um, yeah, so yeah, no, everything's done here. It's a pretty good sound in here, and because it's not, I can't even find it now. Because there's no drums, live drums in here, that gets done elsewhere. I don't annoy the neighbors too much, so
Yeah, that's probably
yeah, no, it's
wise.
good. It's a good space. Yeah, absolutely. But no, it's good. I'm really happy with it. Here we go. So yeah, no, I'm really happy with this space. Sorry about that.
No,
But
you're
all done.
fine. You're fine. So, when you are in the midst of trying to think about your music and composing your music, is it, you locked in a room like this one, or do you take time outside and kind of like let your mind wander and, or tag notes maybe on your phone? Like, how does your creative process work?
I tend to do it in two different ways. If I'm just messing around with an acoustic guitar, I thought, well, that sounds all right. I'll record it on the phone, and just leave it there saying, "Oh, must use on it," leave it. And then I don't jot lyrics down. Weirdly, a lot of people take a book and carry a book and jot notes for lyrics. I don't do that. The lyrics kind of come when I'm thinking of writing something. So, like now, I'm writing a new EP, or it may turn into an album, depending on time. So I then go through my phone, look at these demos I've recorded. Yeah, I'm liking that one. Let's have a go with this, and then I write the lyrics to it. Then,
Okay, so you're about the music
there
first
and
and the
then.
lyrics after.
Yeah, which is weird because it used to be the other way. The first album I wrote was all about the lyrics first, and then I put the music to it. But now I'm like, right, let's try and find the music and let's get the melody. You know, you try and think of a melody with no lyrics is quite hard, but I sort of just do it in my head, and then I'll put some words around. But when I do start writing, I always have something in my head like, what's it going to be about? You know, there's not just some random rubbish coming out.
Okay, so you do have a thought
Have a theme.
process. Okay, so it
Yeah.
isn't just totally
Yeah.
random music. There is a thought, like a
No.
theme in mind. That's where I would be like, huh, how do you accomplish that? But when you have a theme in mind, that makes more sense to me. And I did wonder.
I've got to have something to think about, otherwise, it's just
Yeah.
rubbish.
Right. It was like shooting an arrow.
It's just
without
utter
having a
nonsense.
target.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, what does this actually mean?
Right. Exactly.
Nope.
Hopping in
Start
the car.
again. So no, I've always got an idea.
Never arriving. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So I've always got to have an idea of where that end line is and what you're saying and what you're talking about. So yeah, but no, it's fun. It's working at the moment, and I always got to try and strike, as you will know, as a writer. Before you get the block.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that a couple of times, and you try and force your way through that, and it just doesn't work. You just got to let time take its course, haven't you?
It's true. It's true. But when the ideas flow, if I don't write it down right away, I worry that I'll forget. And there have been times when I truly have forgotten, because I'll be like, oh, I'll wait. I'll write it down when I have a minute. Forget it. It's gone. So if I don't have a pen and paper, I have my digital notebook on my phone, and it's going down just a few keywords, something that's going to jog the memory. Otherwise, it's gone. I'll never see it again. So
yeah, I have had a few of those notes where I'm thinking, oh, this melody and this tune pops in your head. I'm like, oh yeah, I just need to record that a minute, and then you forget it. You think, that was so good. Well, if it was that good, I would have remembered it. So it probably wasn't that good.
Or at least that's what we tell ourselves.
Probably
right?
A couple of gins. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's probably the gin.
Yeah. Or sometimes, like, I hear a name, like sometimes in my day job, I deal with a lot of people. I'm like, ooh, that name for a character in this story, and ooh, that inspires this storyline. Yeah. But if you don't jot it down or come up with something right and have the focus to do it in that moment, assuming that it's appropriate to stop and do it in that moment or immediately after that moment, because obviously if you're dealing with the public, you can't be like, wait. You have to wait until it's appropriate, because hey, you have to do the job that pays the bills, that keeps you alive.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But it seems to work for me at the moment, and I have a day job aside from music, so it's not as if I could be in here every day, all day. So no, it's good. It works. It's quite a nice balance at the moment.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I have a full-time job, and then this is my playtime. This is when I get to do the fun stuff. So
yeah,
it works.
Exactly.
I mean, if it ever paid the bills, cool. But if nothing else, I just get to have fun.
Yeah, and that's the main thing, isn't it? You got to enjoy it, and what's the point otherwise?
Well, so true. It's so true. Especially if it doesn't pay the bills, then you at least need to have fun. But are you the only...
it's definitely not worth doing it otherwise.
Exactly right.
In
your family, are you the only musician, or do you have family members, siblings, parents, other members who are musically
My
inclined?
yeah, my dad is a musician. He's a guitarist. He was in a band in the 60s.
Cool.
Um, just at the time when all that was going off, with the Beatles and all that sort of thing.
Yep.
He was playing on the circuits with the likes of the Kinks, the Who. He actually was on first name terms with Jimi Hendrix and Mama Cass
Wow.
before he went big. So
Mhm.
he was practically living in London before he went huge. And he was dating Mama Cass at the time, and my dad was on like first name terms with them, and Ginger Baker from Cream, and all that sort of thing. So yeah, my dad's the one who taught me how to play the guitar.
Very
Um,
cool.
and Mum sort of did in the early days, but never took that on. My brother, he won't mind me saying this, but he's tone deaf. Um,
That's how it works
and my
sometimes.
wife used to, my wife used to play guitar when she was younger, but not carried it on. And my son at the moment, he's 11, so not really. He's not really sort of diving into music. It's all about the Switch and Roadblocks and all that sort of thing at the moment for him.
Sure. Sure. Well, you just never know about the future. He might develop an interest later, or maybe it'll be a grandchild who has an interest. You just never know. But it does
You
seem
never
like
know.
it seems to run in families. Not always, but
Yeah,
often.
yeah. It'd be interesting to see when he's a bit older. Yeah, see what he does. But he doesn't like my music, so
That's what
he
the
makes that plain.
yeah. Well, and that's what we talked about earlier. Music is always changing. He might come up with a whole different style of music that you and I will go, "Ooh, what kind of music is that?"
Yeah. Oh, he's into that moment, that K-pop
Well, I've
stuff.
heard of that. I haven't actually heard any what it
Uh,
is, but I've heard the term. I have no idea.
I think it's. Oh, I'd probably best not say out loud what I think it is, but it's directed at kids.
Mm, yeah, I always thought I would try to stay open minded where music is concerned, and try to stay relevant. But at my age, I'm thinking maybe not.
Yeah, like what you like.
Yeah,
Who cares what anyone else thinks?
yeah. There comes a point,
But I tell you what, though, that is the beauty of this. All these people I've met in Atlanta in August. So I've been listening to their music, and all these people I've met, their music, and there is some phenomenal music out there, which I never would have directed myself to hadn't I met them or anything like that. I just listened to this week. A blues album. His name is Angel Ocasio Jr., right?
Okay.
This guy can play the guitar and it is so cool. There's another album and he's a guy I've become really good friends with, Andrew Moore and Hooch. They're in Kentucky. And his album called Artists of the Moon has actually been nominated for a Grammy as well.
Wow.
It is amazing. Amazing. And it's just this music is and things I would never naturally go to, because it's not the right genre.
Right.
But so much good music out there. You just got to give it a go and go from there.
True.
Amazing.
That's the thing. Sometimes we hear things that we wouldn't naturally seek out. And that's where I love that they include music like in movies and television. Some of the best songs I've ever heard have not been on the radio. It's been I was watching a television episode or watching a movie. I'm like, what song is that? And I end up looking it up. I'm like, okay, adding it to my collection because I heard it in a place where I was going to be watching already, or I was already going to be in the audience. It was never going to show up on my music feed because it wasn't in the music feed I would typically be listening to. But I mean, you just never know when you're going to be exposed to a song that you're going to just absolutely fall in love with. And I think we do fall in love with certain pieces of music.
Yeah, agree. Agree. Yeah, something just hits you and it stays with you forever.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So much so that actually my previous guest right before you, he has he was talking about the way that music can even affect a person's health in a positive way, that it can help someone with, for example, dementia. It can ground them and take them back to a baseline where it calms them, and where there's research in play to help with healing properties of music. So music that you're writing today potentially has that healing power in someone, potentially based on the research they're doing. And how amazing is that to think about, that something you're writing
Yeah.
for enjoyment and entertainment may have additional benefits beyond what we imagine.
Yeah, 100%. It's such a powerful thing, music, in every lyric, or even the way it's produced. The melody can be taken in so different ways by different people, and just gives it that own little meaning, whether it's a happy feeling or a sad feeling or a medicinal feeling. It's
Exactly.
the beauty of and the power of music. It's awesome.
It really is. It is powerful. That's exactly the right word for it, because we listen to it and we internalize it. It actually becomes a part of who we are. The more we listen to a song, the more it becomes a part of our identity. I think. Maybe
Mm.
you disagree, but I think it
Yeah.
becomes part of who we are. So,
It does, and you look, especially when you're younger in your 20s. It's the way you dress. You
yes.
dress like your music idols, and you look at your guys who are into your metal, and usually they wear black. So that's that. You, it's the way you live your life, depending on what music. You're a punk, and so they had punk haircuts. You know, um, Same if look at the Ska Boys and the Two Tone Boys. And the Moths and the Rockers go back to the '60s. So
True. True. They
yeah,
didn't
it's
imitate
just
them.
it, and the way that's how you live your life, is usually going by what music you listen to.
True. But I think it even permeates deeper than that, more than the superficial of what you wear. It influences your thoughts, the way you're inclined to think. I really think music kind of programs the mind and the mindset. I try to be very careful about the music I listen to for that reason. I'm very selective because I think it has that powerful an influence. And I like to feed my mind the most healthy, nice music I can. And I'm sure you try to write the most powerfully and good, healthy music that you're able to write, just because we know how powerful it can be. We want it to have the best outcome for people.
Yeah, 100%. And even when you get your kicker hook melodies,
Hmm.
you want that just to be whoa,
Yeah.
and whether I've achieved that, I don't know, but that's for other people to judge. But it's
Yeah.
it's what you
Absolutely.
always strive for.
Exactly. Whether it's something to pump you up for something you need to have a lot of enthusiasm for, or music that's meant to calm you down and have you having some peace, whatever the purpose of that particular song that you're trying to do for that particular occasion. But yeah, it is amazing how many different styles of music and how many different purposes are behind both the music itself and the lyrics, and again how we internalize it. But anyway, I
Absolutely.
digress.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm always amazed when I think about just all those different applications, and I could go nuts talking about that type of stuff.
Mm, nah, all good. Fully agree.
So, what are your plans? Do you plan to continue? You said you have a collaboration coming up. So, what is that going to look like for you?
So yes, this collaboration. So her name is Emily E. Fink. She's based in Florida. Um, and she put a note out on the ISSA website asking would anyone want to collaborate on a song. How that works, don't know. Anyway, I answered, and we got talking, initially by email. Then we did a couple of face calls, and we we got on, and it started from there. I said, okay, what do we want to write about? Came up with an idea, put the music to it, gone back and forth. And then we actually recorded the vocals together in Atlanta in August,
I
singing
wondered.
in the same mic face to face. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, it was great. It was missing something when we did the vocals separately. It was just missing something.
Maybe the energy that
And
comes
so
with
we
being
did.
face to face. Maybe just
Correct.
tangible
That chemistry
energy.
and
Yeah.
yeah. And it worked. You know, what you'll hear on the record is the second take, you know. So it was amazing just how it come out, and you can feel the presence that we are both together in that room, you know, and how it come out. So yeah, again, it's another genre bending song for us both, really different for us both. I cannot for the life of me think what genre it would be, but if you think Nick Cave, Kylie Minogue, Where the Wild Roses Grow,
Okay. Yes.
kind of like
Yes.
that, with a
Okay.
yeah, with a maritime feel to it, sort of thing. We had one radio DJ, indie centric radio. He's in North or South Carolina, one of them. I'll read it to you. It was, what did he say? Sorry, I'm just trying to find it here. I got it. He said genre stretching Australian songsmith Andy Smith pairs with US siren Emily Fink for the duet Legends, a darkly lush lament that drips with maritime melancholy.
I like it. Okay. I definitely want to
I
hear
thought,
this
how cool is
song.
that?
That's super cool. So, two questions for
Yeah, we
you.
can send it to you.
So, I definitely want to
Yep.
hear it. So, when is it coming out? Is it available where people can download it now, or am I getting a sneak peek, or how do we get our hands on this song?
So it is released 16th of October.
Okay, so coming soon.
So what's that? 10
2 weeks
days
out.
ish. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just under 2 weeks. On all streaming platforms. So yeah, where you usually get your music, you'll be able to find it. We are on the socials and YouTube. We're posting little promos at the moment, you know, little stills, little short reels, little clips of the tune. But it's having its premiere Monday evening, so US time, Eastern time, you call it, don't you? I think
We
your
do.
side.
Yes. Yes.
Um, on the ISSA radio, so the Rick Spin show from 8 p.m. Monday night,
Okay.
Eastern time. It's having its world premiere.
Okay. And so, question number 2 is there a music video, or is it just the song for now?
It's just a song, but a bit of an exclusive for you. 2 weeks after the release, I think it's 2 weeks, or it might be 10 days, there is an acoustic video version being released.
Cool.
So we recorded that while we were together in Atlanta. So yeah, we haven't sort of announced that bit yet. So there you go, you got that one. So a couple of weeks after the song's released, yeah, we'll be releasing an acoustic version with a video for that as well.
Sounds good. So now, did she
Yeah.
write the song and then you're lending your vocals to it, or did you write the song together? Tell us more about kind of behind the scenes about this.
Yeah, we wrote it together. So Emily had some lyrics, which she put forward a load of lyrics, and we sort of went through them and we kind of put them together, adjusted some here or there. And then I kind of put the tune to it, which then we talked about it and altered. So it's a complete 50-50 thing. You know, it is credited to us both 50-50. We both wrote it, we both influenced it, and we both produced it. So even though I kind of engineered it here, any changes through it all, we would talk about it and, put ideas in. She would put her ideas in, I would put my ideas in, and then we'd go from there. So, the word collaboration really is true. The whole thing has been a joint effort from start to finish. And it was really, really enjoyable. It's something I've never done before. I did when I was in my band, the Originals band, I kind of wrote all the tunes. Then the guys come in and recorded their parts face to face. But I've never done a duet before or anything like that. And it was really enjoyable. I mean, she's lovely. And that helps, when the person you're working with is nice.
Yes,
And we've got on and we've got on really, really well. We've become quite good friends, and the whole process has been an amazing experience. And even now, like, she's doing all the stills and all the promo stuff. She's a workhorse, and it's like all these reels, because while we were doing the vocals, it was all being filmed at the same time. So there's all this behind the scenes footage coming out as well.
That's what I was wondering. I was thinking music video because of that. So yes.
Yeah. And there's a lot of funny stuff as well, which it'll all come out all on our socials. We're kind of releasing it every 3 days, like little stills here and there. But yeah, no, I've really, really enjoyed it, and really, really, really happy with the song, how the song's come out. The feedback we're getting is good. So fingers crossed it would do pretty well, and hopefully everyone enjoys it. It's something really, really different for us both.
Well, I'm very excited. I can't wait to hear it. I mean, just your description of it, I'm excited. I'm gonna be
good.
If I don't get a preview, I'm gonna at least be on October 16th. I'm gonna be listening because I want to hear what this song sounds like. So you definitely have my attention.
That's good to hear.
Yes.
You'll have to just dive onto the to our social page, and you'll get a little preview of it there.
I'm definitely gonna do that. And I'll start with andysmithmusic.net, and I'm gonna guess that there's a link from there. Yes.
Oh, there is. Yes.
Okay, that's where I'll start then. So
yeah, there's a link there, as you'll see it, and you can go and pre-save it as well.
Sounds good. So after this has kind of been accomplished, what are your future plans? Do you have other albums you're working on, or is this a first song in what is the album you're currently working on? What are the thoughts?
This, so I'm currently recording new music. Whether that is an EP or an album, I don't know yet. I want to have it done and released Christmas time, early January time, ideally. So it just depends on time, but I'm at the stage on the first track of whether this will be. I've got 6 demos.
Okay.
So whether I do them all or just keep it as a 3-track EP. But the first one is 95% done. So I finished kind of all the music off on that yesterday. It just needs the vocals doing, and then it needs mixing. So really happy with the progress with that. And then I've got another one, weirdly, which I did write about my round the world trip on the way home from Atlanta last month, where
I apologize for
where I went here, there, and everywhere. That's all right. That's another. Maybe he's a fan. But yeah, so my elongated way home, I've written about as well. So that's pretty cool. And having to just sit alone in San Francisco airport for 10 hours, it was quite inspiring. Excuse me.
You're fine.
So that's next. Yeah.
Very cool.
No, you're right.
All right. So as we get down to the wire here, as we're getting toward the end of our episode, this is the part where we start asking the questions from the previous guest. So let me see here what question to ask you from the previous guest. And sometimes I reserve another question just in case. Actually, this question is pretty good. So the previous guest, the one just before you, asked the question, how can music benefit society as a whole?
I think use it for what you believe in yourself. If it makes you happy, if it makes you sad, resonate that song with however you're feeling and just take it to your heart that way. I don't think it could be for anything else. A bit like what we spoke about earlier. Music's so powerful in the way you're thinking, the way you're feeling. And I think more people in the world could possibly benefit, society could benefit from just maybe taking music in a bit more.
I think I would agree with that. Personally, I think every job should have music in the background, or at least have people the ability to have music in the background, even if it's a parabolic speaker where it's only they're the ones who can hear it. But let me ask you another question. What is something that you have changed your mind about?
In life in general or music?
In any possible way. Life in general, in music, whatever comes to your mind first.
Wow. Obviously, the country we used to live in, we changed our mind on that.
True.
Moved to the other side of the world. Wow. I'm quite a stubborn person.
Okay.
My wife would agree with that.
Sometimes being stubborn can be a good thing.
Yeah, when I set my mind to something, I'm pretty determined and regimented in doing it. Like I'm quite analytical as well, and so I do think about. But weirdly, I'm quite impulsive as well. So I kind of like, yeah, I'm going to do that. Want to go headstrong. I've learned over the years to pull the reins in, think about it, sit on it, and then go. And once I've made my mind up, I'm like, I'm all in. Whatever it is I'm doing, whether it's on my own, whether it's with music, whether it's friends or other people, if I say I'm going to do something, I do it.
Okay. So do you take your time
so
before
to change,
you make up your mind? Sorry, I didn't interrupt.
No. Initially, I don't. I go straight in, and then I've got to come back, and then think about it. So that impulsiveness, and then I need to sit and analyze it, and then I go. So I've added a step. So to change my mind, I don't know. Let's say the country.
Okay, and that's fair. That's fair. And I think you
got me on that
your
one.
wife, right? That's okay. I just
a bit of both. Yeah, it was. Yeah, and you got me on that one.
Sometimes it's just interesting to hear. But did you have an opportunity to think of a question for the next guest?
Yeah, this is a weird one.
Okay,
I like sometimes being. Yeah, I like weird. So, if you could live on another planet,
okay,
which planet would it be? But it would be the same conditions as what Earth is.
Okay.
So you're just going to go and choose another planet by the name of it. Which one would it be? And you got your crudeness. I know if whoever you're going to ask this to is a bit crude, you know damn well which planet that's going to be.
Right.
I'm not going to say it here. But yeah,
I know what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But I think I would be Saturn just because you got the rings around it.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I have no clue what I would be, but it's an interesting question, especially if they do choose that one that you and I are both thinking of as far as the crudeness of it. But
yeah.
So that was your son.
Exactly. I've got my son here.
Yeah.
It is. Hang on. Sorry.
Oh, hey.
Quickly.
No worries.
Yeah. Go on in. I woke him up.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
Poor fella. Well, we're
I get used to it. It's school holidays this week.
Oh Oh, nice. Yes, there's nothing like
Yeah,
being off school, just those breaks. But
exactly.
uh,
Exactly.
is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience before we close out the recording?
I think no, just thank you for those who are supporting me already and supporting Emily and I on this single. If you haven't, go check it out. Go and check our socials out. Go and check our websites out. It's something different. It's something good. I think you'll like it, and enjoy the ride we're going on. We're gonna go on a bit of a whirlwind ride with this song. So we hope just everyone enjoys it as much as we did making it.
Sounds good. Well,
And
like I
thank you,
said,
Zoe, for your time.
oh, you're welcome. I think we're all excited for October 16th. You know, we are eager for this song to drop so we can hear it and see what this sounds
Absolutely.
like.
So are we. Yeah, we just want to get it out there now. And but as I said, Monday on the ISSARadio.com on the Rick Spin Show, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's where it's getting its first play in the world. So you can dial into that via the internet to that radio station and get a little first glimpse.
Sounds good. And then just a reminder, the clips until we get our curiosity satisfied, check out andysmithmusic.net. Andy, thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Thank you. No, really have fun. That hour went quick.
Yep, it did. It's a little under an hour, but I think we captured so well that sometimes the best art is knowing when to finish that last stroke, and I think we got it.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, no, that's perfect.
I guess I should have used a music metaphor. The last note of music would have been a better metaphor, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't use the last post.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't want to do that.
No, we don't. No. But thank you so much. So hang tight after we stop recording and I'll fill you on some more details. Here we go.
Yeah, all good. Thank you very much.